2003. Pavel Nedvěd wins the Ballon d'Or. What the fuck? Yeah, not Thierry Hanry, not Paolo Maldini, not Buffon, not even peak fatigue Zidane. No, they gave it to a Czech midfielder who missed the Champions League final. And ever since then, it's been like watching Pedri and Bellingham and choosing Bellingham instead. Nah, just joking. Don't let me get started. The Ballon d'Or is marketed as the trophy for the best footballer in the world. Voted on by journalists who once even thought voting for Javier Mascherano in 2014 was a tactical masterstroke. Yeah, not even joking. Meanwhile, Henry at Arsenal was cooking that season in the Premier League like he actually hated Tottenham. Yeah, I know we all do. Nah, just a joke. Relax. 24 goals, 20 assists in the league. This man was insane, but he didn't win it. Why? Because Serie A was popular in the early 2000s. Because tactical discipline and Italian defending had prestige. Because the Premier League was still seen as that wild, unpredictable pub league where everyone kicked each other and goalkeepers wore short sleeves in the snow. They didn't take Arsenal seriously like we do now with Tottenham. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Meanwhile, they could have been given Maldini the Ballon d'Or as a lifetime achievement award and nobody would have complained. The guy was 35 and still more elegant than your wedding tux. But nah, apparently defenders don't win unless there's a scandal and a World Cup involved. Shout out Cannavaro 2006, we'll get there. Oh, and Buffon, he was literally the best goalkeeper in the world. Might have even been the best player that season, but again, goalkeeper. AKA no Ballon d'Or. So what did we get? Nedvěd holding the golden ball with a confused smile. It was the first Ballon d'Or heist of the 21st century, and thus the Ballon d'Or crime saga began. Now 2010, and there is one guy who's won the Serie A, Coppa Italia, Champions League, and even took the Netherlands to the World Cup final and scored 5 goals doing it, tying as the tournament's top scorer, Wesley Sneijder. What did that get him? Just 4th place? Yeah, I know. Behind Iniesta, Xavi, and Messi. And Messi, just to clarify, didn't make the Champions League final, didn't make the World Cup final, and had fewer trophies that year than Tottenham Hotspur has in a decade. But hey, he dribbled nice, and that was apparently enough. Xavi and Iniesta came 2nd and 3rd. Fantastic players, true midfield artists, but Iniesta missed half the season injured. Xavi had a great year, sure, but Sneijder won everything Xavi didn't, and then went even further, with his country. And guess what? Neither of them won the treble. You know who did? Exactly. They gave it to Messi like it was an annual subscription. Like someone at FIFA said, we can't have a year without him on the front cover, that would be weird. Sounds logical, right? And poor Sneijder got erased. FIFA merged the Ballon d'Or with their own award that year, and the whole process turned into a buffet of confusion and bias. Premier League fans knew it immediately. This was the international version of Gerrard in 08 or Lampard in 05. Do everything, carry your team, score bangers, and then lose to someone who had a decent haircut and a better PR manager. Sneijder 2010 wasn't a robbery. It was basically a hit job. 2013 was Bayern Munich's year, and Frank Ribéry did what every Ballon d'Or voter allegedly values: won everything. Bundesliga, wrapped by March, DFB Pokal, Child's Play, Champions League, took it all. Ribéry basically had ball control like he glued the thing to his boot. So, logically, he finished 3rd. What the fuck? Behind a half-fit Messi and a trophyless Cristiano Ronaldo. Why? Because Cristiano did a gym session on Sweden in a World Cup qualifier, a game that had absolutely nothing to do with club football, but just so happened to take place after FIFA extended the voting deadline. Mysteriously, out of thin air, like someone said, let him cook. Cristiano's hat-trick against Sweden was nice, yeah, but Ribéry had been dismantling Europe since August. Was he supposed to score a 40-yard bicycle kick while having his eyes closed then? Messi spent half the year doing physio, and the other half wondering why his hamstring hated him. Still finished 2nd. Meanwhile, Ribéry's season was borderline illegal. 22 assists, chaos on command, defenders retired early just to avoid another 90 minutes of torment. He got the football equivalent of, thanks for your service, here's a free coffee. It was basically a marketing seminar. He just played football at a world-class level and was the best all year. Boring, right? Dribbling past Virgil van Dijk, statistically impossible. Actually, no one did it for 65 matches straight. Basically the same fact as Real Madrid owning the referees. He anchored a Liverpool defence that turned into a Champions League winning fortress, led them to 97 points in the Premier League, and still finished 2nd, but he made sure the whole of Europe felt the heat. Bayern, done. Barcelona, erased. Tottenham, controlled. This was a centre-back who played like a nightclub bouncer with a PhD in positioning with shin pads on. So of course the Ballon d'Or went to Lionel Messi. Again, because at this point, Ballon d'Or voting isn't a system, it's a subscription service. Just auto-renews to Messi every few years like you forgot to cancel the free trial. Now don't get it twisted. Messi was brilliant in 2019, 51 goals, 19 assists, some sick goals in La Liga, carried a Barcelona side held together with duct tape and vibes, but then the Champions League happened. Specifically, Anfield happened, and Messi went missing that day. Van Dijk He was absolutely there, front and center, organizing, blocking, winning everything, oversaw the greatest UCL comeback of the modern era, and then won the damn thing in Madrid. But still, Messi wins the Ballon d'Or by 7 votes. That's not a victory. That's a coin flip at the Oscars. It's like saying, sure, you were the best in Europe, the Premier League, and the Champions League, but Leo scored 4 against Eibar in January, so this wasn't about football. It was about feelings, about nostalgia, about voters seeing Messi's name and blacking out with joy. Van Dijk got done dirty, the man who redefined Liverpool, who changed the entire backline culture, who took a midfield built for chaos and gave it the stability of a damn vault. And what did he get for it? Silver. Again. Because apparently the Ballon d'Or has a Messi clause that reads, in case of doubt, give it to the little genius. Back in 2006, Cannavaro won it purely because of World Cup defending. In 2018, Modric won it for carrying Croatia without massive stats. But in 2019, Van Dijk had both the story and the stats, and still came up short. Premier League fans lost it. So you're saying a defender needs to score 30 goals and win the World Cup and do backflips to even get considered? Yeah, I think so. Unless your name is Messi or Ronaldo, the rules change every year. He didn't lose because Messi was better, he lost because Messi was Messi. Because Ballon d'Or voters would vote for him if he was playing 6-a-side in Miami with Aguero's cousins. And Virgil? He just went back to defending like a wall made of muscle and composure. He took it well, class act, but let's be honest, he got robbed. The Ballon d'Or 2019 wasn't a win, it was a legacy installment plan. In 2020, Robert Lewandowski had the kind of season that makes you believe he was genetically engineered in a Bayern lab under the Allianz Arena. 55 goals, treble, Champions League top scorer, Bundesliga top scorer, DFB Pokal top scorer. The man literally completed football on legendary difficulty. So naturally, the Ballon d'Or, right? Cancelled. France Football took one look at Lewa's stat sheet, saw Bayern lifting everything that year and went, nah, let's just not give it to anyone because of COVID. Football was still being played, trophies were still being handed out, but apparently Lewandowski scoring a hat-trick every other Tuesday wasn't enough motivation for someone in Paris to fire up a printer. France Football didn't even rob him to give it to someone else. They just deleted the entire ceremony like it was an embarrassing Facebook post. They ran the Champions League. They handed out UEFA awards. You had the ceremony for Best FIFA Men's Player, which Lewandowski won. But suddenly the Ballon d'Or was too fragile to survive the sniffles? Come on, let's be honest. If Messi or Ronaldo had that season, they'd have hosted the ceremony on a yacht, with Michel Platini handing out the trophy wearing gloves and a face shield. It's like breaking every Olympic record and being told, yeah, the medals are on back order, maybe try again next year. And let's not forget, this was also the year Bayern played some of the best football ever seen. Flick had them pressing like they had rent due. Everyone was cooking, and Lewa was basically the head chef in Bayern's kitchen. France Football could have done the right thing, handed him the golden ball in an empty room with masks on. It would have been fair, to be honest. And guess what? They never made it right till this day. 2023. In 2023, Erling Haaland turned into a real-life machine. 52 goals in his first season at Manchester City. He won the Premier League, FA Cup, and the Champions League. So, logically, the Ballon d'Or goes to Lionel Messi. Exactly. Because of course it does. Because it's Messi. And when it's Messi, normal logic doesn't apply. Haaland scored more goals than Messi had appearances. He broke the Premier League single-season record while looking like a sentient protein shake. He led a treble-winning campaign, the holy grail of European football, and did it with the ruthlessness of a robot who doesn't blink. But Messi won the World Cup in December 2022, and that's all anyone needed to hear. Absolutely done for Haaland. Never mind that the award is for the 2022-23 season, which started in August 2022, 4 months after the World Cup qualifiers ended. And look, Messi was brilliant in Qatar. Nobody's denying it. The World Cup final was iconic. He had moments, but we're not handing out a Lifetime Achievement Award here. This isn't the Grammys. It's supposed to be a seasonal award. Messi joined PSG, where he basically went on holiday, played in a league where defenders treat marking like a suggestion, and when the CL knockout rounds hit, Haaland dismantled RB Leipzig with 5 goals in 60 minutes. Meanwhile, Messi was getting cooked by Bayern Munich and quietly leaving the group chat. But sure, give it to the guy who ghosted the Champions League again, played 3 months of club football at actual intensity, and then flew to Miami to semi-retire. France Football didn't even pretend to care. They basically handed him the Ballon d'Or and said, yeah, we just wanted to see him hold it one last time. What was Haaland supposed to do? Score a hat-trick while skydiving? Speak fluent Spanish? Play barefoot against Van Dijk? The man was basically punished for not being Lionel Messi. That's it. In 2024, Vinicius Jr. scored screamers, dances after every goal like it's a TikTok audition, roasts fullbacks weekly, and lifts his second Champions League. But when the golden envelope opens, Rodri. Let's get this out of the way. Vinicius had moments, elite ones, world-class winger doing world-class things, but also constant PR chaos, complaining every 5 minutes, flexing on defenders like he was auditioning for Fast and Furious, Madrid drift, running to cameras after nutmegs like he'd just discovered fire. Great player, but somewhere along the line, 9, he started playing for vibes instead of matches. Meanwhile, Rodri just won football, quietly, efficiently, repeatedly. He didn't need the viral clips. He didn't need to shush crowds or throw attitude at fullbacks. He was Guardiola's brain on the pitch, almost his son. And while Vinicius was out there launching Twitter beefs with half of La Liga and celebrating like he'd just invented samba, Rodri was putting in 8 out of 10 masterclasses every 72 hours. No Rodri, no City machine, no treble talk, no title retention. He was the load-bearing wall of Manchester football, and yes, he won trophies too. Again. While Vinny was dancing, Rodri was lifting. While Vinny was tweeting, Rodri was tackling. While Vinny was storming down the wing for the cameras, Rodri was managing the damn game. Remember when Real Madrid nearly bottled La Liga in February and Vini vanished? Rodri never vanished. The man played 60 matches without looking tired. He's basically powered by diesel. So when the Ballon d'Or voting happened, the message was clear. Substance over flash, football over spectacle, actual greatness over edited greatness.